The book of Esther, chapter 4, verses 13 and 14. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? The title of this lesson is called, but not yet chosen. Lesson. When Mordecai spoke to Esther, he exposed the truth that pierces through time. Being in position does not guarantee salvation, and being called into the kingdom does not automatically make you chosen. Esther was elevated to the throne, a place of honor, riches, and influence. But Mordecai warned her not to confuse the position with the purpose. If she kept silent, she and her father's house would perish. This is the same danger many face today. They hear the call of the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his only begotten Son Yahushai. They see the scriptures come alive. They recognize the prophecies unfolding, but they still lean back into the world as if leisure is an option. They think the call is a covering, when in reality, it is an alarm. The call is an awakening, but being chosen requires obedience, endurance, and courage to stand in the moment for which you were brought forth. Many are called. This is why churches are full. Live streams are busy and people can quote scriptures without living them. But few are chosen, meaning few understand the call demands transformation, separation, and sacrifice. Yahushua said plainly in the book of Matthew chapter 22 and verse 14, for many are called, but few are chosen. The invitation to the feast was broad, but those who entered without the garment of righteousness were cast out. Esther's moment was the dividing line. Would she be comfortable in the palace, or would she step into her calling and risk her life to intercede for her people? Likewise, your moment is here. The Most High has awakened you in these last days, not so you can drift back into sin, but so you can rise into his covenant. The book of Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach chapter 2 and verse 5 says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. End quote. Being chosen means being tested. Being chosen means walking into the fire and trusting that the Most High will uphold you. So the warning is clear. If you settle with just being called, if you silence yourself when the kingdom requires you to stand, if you take the leisure of the palace instead of the labor of the covenant, then like Mordecai warned Esther, deliverance will still come, but you and your house will perish. The difference between being called and chosen is this. The called hear the voice, but the chosen obey the command. That's the end of the lesson. It was based on the book of Esther, chapter 4, verses 13 and 14. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not thou, Salakia, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?